the night of April 11th, hundreds of girls were kidnapped at gunpoint from their dormitory in the Chibok Government Secondary School by Boko Haram terrorists who believe Western-style education is a sin. This past Sunday evening, even more girls aged 12 to 15 were kidnapped from their village of Warabi in Borno State. The violence is continuing. Please join in a moment of silence as we pray for the girls and their families during this unimaginable time. Thank you.
My name is Anna Klein. I'm a Baltimore City resident, former preschool teacher, a community activist, a granddaughter of Holocaust survivors, and I'm a mom. I too have a daughter. I, like everyone here, was sickened upon hearing the news of the abducted Nigerian schoolgirls. I regrammed, I retweeted, and spoke of my anger towards a group so hateful, so corrupt to do such a thing. At the same time, I packed lunches, folded laundry, and returned library books, because I have the luxury to do so. As I laid awake in bed Monday night, I suddenly understood that part of my uneasiness was within myself. How could I, having just celebrated Holocaust Remembrance Day, and now coordinating a Mother's Day gathering, sit by and watch this happen? It's 2014. How could we allow this atrocity to occur? We needed to rally. The Baltimore Leadership School for Young Women and their executive director, Maureen Colburn, jumped on board without hesitation. Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake and her team has worked tirelessly to rearrange her full schedule, and here we are today. Thank you, Mayor, for showing the world what being a Baltimorean really means. To my fellow Baltimoreans, I am in awe. Look at us. Students from the city and county, from private and public schools, from diverse political, community, and religious organizations. How quickly we have all joined to form the Sea of Red. Together, we demonstrate to the world that despite our backgrounds, our color, our languages, our privileges, and our hardships, despite these differences, we stand united. We rally in solidarity with our Nigerian girls to support a girl's right to education across the globe, and to declare that no woman, no person anywhere will be bought or sold. This is the face of evil, of radicalism at its ugliest, and we will not tolerate it. I also want to thank Councilman Stokes, Councilman Mosby, Councilman Scott, Councilwoman Mary Platt Clark. We know how busy you are. Thank you for being here. Now I'd like to introduce two members of the Elijah Cummings Youth Program, a leadership development program for teens in Baltimore. Ugochi Ihanutu is a senior at Friends School of Baltimore, where she is head of Diversity Council and a committed peer educator for middle school students. Ugochi will attend Brown University next fall. Carrington Acosta is a senior at Western School of Technology and Environmental Science. Carrington is a decorated track star, a member of the All-State Indoor Track First Team, and a 4-year honor roll student. Carrington will attend Princeton University next fall. Please welcome them both to the stage.
Thank you guys for being here today.
My name is Ugochi Henatu, and I am a Nigerian American. My father, who was the first of my family to come to the United States, came in 1982 to attend the University of Minnesota, and my family made Baltimore our permanent home in 1994. Most of my family still lives in southern Nigeria, and we are of the Igbo tribe there, and I visit them frequently. I have been there around 10 times for extended periods of time. I'm saddened to see girls my age being held captive somewhere just because of the idea that Western education is wrong. I could have been them. That could have been me. These girls are just like me. They were finishing finals and probably had plans to hang out with their friends on the weekend. All of that was taken away from them in an instant. We all have mothers, sisters, aunts, cousins. Imagine if they were denied the education they deserve. Imagine if you yourself were denied the right to an education. For me, attending school and access to educational and leadership programs like the Elijah Cummings Youth Program has supported me on a path to higher education and attaining a professional degree, which is my dream. Education is a basic human right, and no one should have the power to take that away. No one should be kidnapped or bought or sold. I demand action. I demand that we all do our part to bring back our girls. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Carrington Akosa, a student at Western Tech. I'm a Nigerian American. I was born in Nigeria, and I actually moved here when I was 12. Nigeria is a very diverse place, and it's indeed a great nation, but with some flaws. I would like to say it pleases me to see a bunch of you guys here, very diverse, to support the kidnapped kids. I'm pretty sure you don't know these kidnapped kids, but there's one thing I'm sure that you all possess: compassion and love for human race. No one deserves to be held captive and auctioned off or sold for an abysmal price. No human should live in fear at all. And that's what people of the northern Nigerians live in. Let us continue to raise awareness of this plight in Nigeria in order for authentic action to take place. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. famously said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Let us continue to fight for justice no matter where, and continue to be good citizens of the world. Bring back our girls. I'm so honored to welcome to the stage a mother, a daughter, and the mayor of the incredible city of Baltimore, Mayor Stephanie Rollins Blake.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank you all for caring enough to rally and to choose to rally someplace that was very convenient for me to join you so I could lend my support. And I want to thank all of the organizers and the elected officials who have been acknowledged. I want to thank them all for supporting this effort. I am sure that we are all very familiar with the atrocity that happened 3 weeks ago. Nearly 300 young girls were abducted from their school in Nigeria, taken away from their friends, taken away from their families. Abducted from a school, a place that is supposed to be a safe haven, a place that was educating future young leaders, a place that was meant for them to go to better themselves. It was a great crime. And they were just girls who went to school. I have a young daughter, close in age to many of you, and certainly close in age to those girls. And I cannot imagine what the girls are going through at this very moment. Quite frankly, I don't want to imagine. I can't imagine what their mothers, their fathers, their families, and their friends are going through at this moment. And again, maybe I just don't want to. I, along with everyone here and the people assembled all over the world, speak with unity to express our grief as well as our outrage. we call on the Nigerian government and the international community to take immediate action to help these young girls. Here in the United States, we sometimes take our educational system for granted. Far too often, we take our basic human rights and freedom for granted. But we have to remain vigilant. We have to keep speaking up for girls and women in the United States and around the world. Because you see, unfortunately, this type of violence against women and girls is not uncommon. It's not uncommon halfway around the world in Nigeria, and it's not uncommon right here in the United States. This is why outrage at this atrocity should not be a passing fad, but a wake-up call that violence against our daughters, our mothers, and our sisters happens every day in our world. We should take every opportunity to speak out against violence against our children and violence against women. These girls, these are our girls. And we say, bring back our daughters. Bring back our girls. And bring them back alive. Thank you.
We may have different religions, different languages, different colored skin, but we all belong to one human race.
Education is a human right with immense power to transform. On its foundation rest the cornerstones of freedom, democracy, and sustainable human development. Former Secretary General of the United Nations, Kofi Annan.
Hi, I am Blessing Giraldo, a sophomore at the Baltimore Leadership School for Young Women.
Good afternoon, I'm Corey Granger, and I'm also a sophomore at the Baltimore Leadership School for Young Women.
We are gathered here at City Hall to bring awareness to the calamitous abduction of over 250 little girls in Nigeria. Almost 300 young, innocent girls were kidnapped by terrorist group Boko Haram simply because they wanted to receive an education. For the freedom, education, and possibly even lives of these girls to be snatched from them under their tenaciously burgeoning feet simply because they are girls is incredibly beyond belief.
Kofi Annan also said, gender equality is more than a goal in itself. It is a precondition for meeting the challenge of reducing poverty, promoting sustainable development, and building good governance. In the society we live in, education is the key to the locked chains that hold us in bondage. These hundreds of little girls are now being held in bondage when they did absolutely nothing to deserve it. We all deserve an education, and I'm pretty sure they would love to walk in our shoes, receiving the education we have. The same shoes that we use to walk all over the education we oftentimes take for granted. We walk to school each day without having to worry about being shot in the face like Malala, or being abducted and threatened to be sold like these innocent young girls. And the girls in Nigeria, and the girls all around the world, just want the same thing. Change is never impossible, but in order to make it happen, we have to raise awareness of injustices, and we have to put in the work.
Together, as one.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I speak not for myself, but for those without voice. Those who have fought for their rights. Their right to live in peace, their right to be treated with dignity, their right to equality of opportunity, their right to be educated. Malala Yousafzai. It is approximately 9:30 p.m. in the rural Chibok region of Nigeria, and there are over 250 little girls wondering, hoping, lost, scared, prayerful, sad, and alone right now. Why? Why me, God? Why us, God? We were just learning. I was being a good girl and a good student. I was obedient. The list of thoughts is long that plagues them throughout the nights and days, and have for almost a month now. You and I and us. We are here today as one. All of us are one voice, shouting out to the world